Let's give you the markets update now. The JSE facing somewhat subdued global session this morning, but still needs to lose about 2.5% to reach last week's close. Carmen Mpelwane is portfolio manager at Asset Management, and she joins us now for analysis of how the JSE is performing in early trade. Carmen, good morning to you. Your quick overview of how the JSE is faring this morning.
So we opened up, as you've mentioned, a little bit weaker. I think about 39 bips at last check. And that, I think, is largely driven by a sense of mixed performance in Asia this morning. Still looking for direction after the Fed's announcement, or not the Fed, sorry, the inflation number that has come out. Market is trying to get some sense of whether they believe the Fed is likely to continue with very restrictive QT going forward, as well as how fast or how slowly they are likely to increase interest rates. So I think much of yesterday's gains coming off slightly today, but let's see how we fare for the day.
Yeah, let's talk about one company that has been in the news for all the wrong reasons. We're talking consulting firm Bain and Company. The person who runs it in South Africa, the managing partner, Stephen York, apologizing on behalf of the consultancy firm after what that company has suffered in the UK. That's a 3-year ban from doing business with the government in the UK. That apology, Carmen, is it a little too late, or is it an opportunity to start things afresh?
Yeah, so in terms of timeline, we have to remember that the state capture report, which named Bain as a negative party, that came out in January this year. They have subsequently paid back the full amount of 167 million plus interest in terms of that SARS contract. Having said that, this apology does come, as you've mentioned, after the 3-year UK ban to government contracts in the UK, and also after a day, I think it was, where the Treasury Acting DG commented that it should be only fair that we review all contracts that Bain has had in South Africa, but also with a view to ban accordingly until there is corrective action.
Let's stay with company news and talk about Telecom, which says no formal offer or should I say a proposal has been made after Rain said it had approached it about pitching a merger framed as a better alternative to the proposal from the revival, or should I say from the rival MTN Group. Talk us through those developments as well, Carmen, as well as the sentiments which were shared by the takeover regulation panel.
Let's start with the last part. Unfortunately, because Telecom is a listed entity, they needed to go through certain procedure, and they did not do that, and hence there was the reprimand and the request to remove that announcement. Having said that, Telecom has said that they would take a formal offer to their board to be considered by Rain, keeping in mind that after MTN made their announcement, they still have to go through regulatory procedure as well, and there may be a hurdle in terms of Competition Commission within South Africa and in terms of market division or market share. So in our opinion, the view is that this is likely, if Rain does go forward with this, it may be the best for both Rain and Telecom for them to take the mobile side, and that frees up MTN in terms of regulatory and maybe remove certain hurdles for them. Whereas both Rain and Telecom at this point are very undercapitalized, and this may be the best option for them. They'll have to be tweaking in terms of spectrum, etc., but this may be a better option than MTN taking the whole of Telecom.
Yeah, let's conclude with state-owned arms manufacturer, Danelle, which has settled all outstanding salaries as well as the pay-as-you-earn tax, including that the pension fund payments. Carmen, I've got to tell you, this is probably the best news for the employees of that company, because the understanding is that this was unlocked through the Danelle Medical Benefit Trust, but the anxiety from those workers will still be whether they will get their salary after every month from here on. Do you think that this is perhaps a chance for this group to return to its former glory?
Yeah, I mean, you and I both can commiserate. I think with anyone that hasn't had their salary for 2 years or a reduced salary for 2 years, I can't imagine what that must be like.
Sure.
So I definitely think it's a win for everyone. The restructuring, very creative, but it had to go through due legal process and went through the courts to get this approval. But having said that, we have been guided that there is an order book of 12 billion as it stands at Danelle, and that translates to a current annual revenue, 6 times the current annual revenue. And also management saying that there's a potential to increase this to 30 billion. So if that is the case and these orders can be fulfilled, then it seems like there is a sort of medium to long-term change in strategy, which should benefit the employees. But you are correct, there will definitely be a lot of work to do to regain the trust and confidence of employees.
Carmen Mpelwane, let me thank you very much for that markets update.